actually put these battles in times 2 speed, which I don't usually do. But I tried out Mega DD Zard X. It's pretty much, I don't know. It's good, granted. Basically, what I said in my Mega Garchomp video was that I would revisit the rest of Zard X quickly and then move back over to Chomp and finish that up. I figured I'd try Bulky Set because a lot of people have said, oh yeah, you know, Megazord X has got the power, but it's also about as frail as, I don't know, a cucumber. So I thought, alright, let's try and rectify that. We'll build it like Mega Gyarados, but DD. With Roost and DD, I'd say it's a damn sight sturdier. I played a few matches, but I ended up recording a couple. It's a damn sight sturdier. It still has a hell of a lot of power. But the thing I'd say with DD Roost is its coverage. It's sort of like, do you run Flare Blitz and EQ and get walled by Dragon types? Because, you know, things like Dragonite will be like, oh, hey, yeah, you showed up with Flare Blitz and EQ, huh? Yeah, get out. Or do you run Dragon Claw and EQ, in which case Pharaoh was like, oh, hey, yeah, you showed up without Flare Blitz, fuck off. Or do you run Dragon Claw and Flare Blitz, in which case Heatran's like, oh, hey, yeah, you showed up without EQ, fuck off. It's just like, ugh. Every single bit of this coverage doesn't quite work. So you can kind of DD up to the point where it doesn't really matter. I'd still say Dragon Claw Flare Blitz is your best bet. But you need at least a couple of... I have no attack investment on my Zard X, so you need at least a couple of DDs to really get anywhere. It is very bulky though. I really do like its bulk. It's very strong, very powerful, and I like that. So yeah, it's a thing really. I'd still maintain the mix wall breaker is a bit better, although you don't really need it to be mixed, but it's nice if it is mixed. It just generally comes down to your preference. You know, you can either have a mixed wall breaker because it's got the attack and special attack stats support that, or you can try the bulky DD set, but I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's alright, but it's not great. Like I say, the coverage kind of bugs it over a bread bin a bit. Because you don't have Wisp, you don't feel as confident as you did with a completely defensive set. I would just say completely defensive set is its best set, by far. And you've got Wisp, you've got Phasing, you've got Roost, you know, you can have Fire Punch on it, or you can have Earthquake. You can do whatever you want, really. It just works really fucking well. So, that's kind of it. Megazord X is just good. But it kind of comes down to what you want to do. I'd say its worst set is probably a completely offensive DD set, just because it's very frail. Like I say, especially its special defense, kind of wank. HP is okay, but like I say, if you don't invest in its HP or its defense or its special defense, it's pretty glass cannony. You're not really going to get anywhere. If you want to run a bulky set, then you are at least going to need 2 DDs before you start getting any sweeping going. And even then, you've got to kind of decide what coverage you want to use, and then you've got to sort of prioritise certain Pokemon, and then it sort of gets a bit blah, and it's like, this is inconvenient now. So there you go. That's kind of my final verdict on things. But no, so like I say, Charizard X is probably my favourite. I mean, it's physically defensive set is just so bloody good. Like I say, it's very, very, very strong, and it's only really beaten by a few physical threats. I mean, Conkeldurr will fuck it over because it has guts. You really can't do much about Conkeldurr apart from just Dragon Tail it out as soon as physically possible. But other than that, it can set up all over you because you can't burn it because otherwise it just gets stronger. So yeah, you've just got to make sure it goes really quickly. That Flare Blitz crit there, it probably matters because, to my knowledge, most Celebes are physically defensive. From what I remember, I don't know. People might use different shit, but I would assume that crit mattered. Anyway, a couple extra things. On my Mega Garchomp video, there has been a comment left saying, well, it looks like, Chompy's screaming for some Baton Pass support. And I was like, you know what, I completely agree. In fact, for the next Chompy video, probably be there tomorrow or something, I will probably crack out the classic Ariados, because it's been a while since I've used Ariados. I used them in a few of those belly drum vids a while back. So I figure I'll give Ariados a go. However, I don't think I'm really going to say a Pokemon's good based on how well it does with a Baton Pass set. Because I could Baton Pass +2/+2 to an Aerodactyl and it'd probably kill everything quite handily. I could Baton Pass, I could Smash Pass to an Ampharos and it'd probably do quite well. But that's not what we're here to find out. It's more the merits of the Pokemon itself. That's what we're here to see. That's what trying to find out. Like that, you could probably put +6/+6 on a Magikarp and flail your way through things and you'll be fine. But that doesn't make Magikarp good by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know. It's more just judging a Pokemon its own merits, its own stats, its own move pool. That's kind of what I'm after. Another thing is I'm probably going to say Rest Talk sets. Like, if a Mega can pull a Rest Talk set off, then good for it. But I'm not going to name it as good on that, merit. Like, maybe Chompy is actually really good Rest Talker, and, that last video I just didn't give it enough time. Good for it, but it's not good on its own merits. Most Pokemon can probably pull off a Rest Talk set if push comes to shove. So, Rest Talk kind of fits into the same category as Baton Pass, as I'm sure it can do it, randy dandy, but that's not quite what we're here for. I mean, Ampharos Rest Talk set is brilliant. I'm not going to argue that. It's really very, very strong. It has a lot of power behind its hits, and it also gets things like Heal Bell and, fairly reliable stabs. Good, but its offensive prowess is fucking horrific if you try and go all out offensive. You need at least maybe 2 agilities before you can get anywhere with an agility set, and even then it still doesn't have enough power to get anywhere, and it will probably die. T-Wave set doesn't work, because there's no physical way you can really run proper T-Wave support unless you want a Jirachi Togekiss it up like a bellend. So yeah, I'm just gonna disregard Rest Talk sets. It's not really legitimate. It isn't quite there. I don't know. You maybe I still take it as a recommendation. If I say a Rest Talk set for a Pokemon is good, like if Mega Chomp is really good Rest Talk, I'll be like, yeah, it's really good Rest Talk. You should try it out. But as a Mega, no. Like I say, a lot of Pokemon can run Rest Talk sets, and from a Mega Evolution, from a thing that was touted by Game Freak as like the big thing about this gen, you expect slightly more than it can go to sleep and it can use a couple of moves. Like I said, that's why I love Zard X so much. It can roost, it can wisp, it can function without that kind of shit. It can do its own thing. That's what I like about it. Anyway, so yeah, that's a couple of things. Zard X is good as always, will be. Defensive set is the best. You can try DD set if you want. Bulky set might be better off, but then you've got to worry about coverage. So it kind of comes down to your preference. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Go Zard X, it's awesome. And I will see you guys in a bit for some Garchomp. Peace.